occurred here? We're at Brunel Parkway and Laurie.
We were dealing with a sex offender. Now, he had already gotten in trouble for having sex with a child between 12 and 16 years of age. And ultimately, we're checking on the status of that, but he was out anyway on sex offender probation, and he violated as an absconder. So we locked him up in jail. They put a GPS on him, and he got out. And he continued to violate his conditions. So our detectives today got additional felony charges on him and came looking for him. Well, we found him down here on Candace. And as our deputies approached him for the second time today, the first time they were locating him to do a follow-up, and that's when they found out he was in violation, he ran from one of the deputies. As the deputy pursued him into a backyard, the guy spun around and then tackled him as if they were on a football field. They fought on the ground, and immediately the suspect grabbed the deputy's gun and ripped it out of his safety holster, broke the safety holster, held the deputy on the ground and said, "Stop there," and turned around and then ran. Our deputy ran back to his car and got his rifle and then went back into the pursuit for the suspect. Of course, by then, we've called for assistance. The city police came, many deputies came, aviation came, as well as our Marine unit, because two of our canines tracked the suspect into the lake, Lake Bonnet, and we saw no evidence that he left the lake. But keep in mind, this started about 2:45, and now we're well over an hour. The water's cold, the air's cold, so we were searching the lake side because we didn't know if he was in the lake or if he had gotten out and was hiding in the vegetation, but we knew he was armed with our gun. Our Marine patrol found him in the weeds about 50 to 75 yards offshore, and took him into custody. After we took him into custody, we read him his rights. He didn't have the firearm on him, but then he took us back to where he entered the water and said he dropped the firearm in that particular area. So we have an article search underway right now. We will find the firearm. So he's going to jail for a litany of charges, and we'll have more details in the press release in the morning. But the good news is he chose not to shoot us, for which we're grateful, and we chose not to shoot him, for which I know he's grateful. At the end of the day, he's in custody. Our deputy's not hurt. He's not hurt. He's a little cold and a little wet, but hey, at the jail, I have blankets and heaters, so he's going to be okay.
What's his name?
His name is Curtis Young Jr. He's 53 years of age.
And just so people understand, you were pointing the gun down. That's what he did to your deputy? He was pointing the gun at him?
They were on the ground fighting, and he got a hold of the gun while the deputy's on the ground fighting with him and broke it out of the holster. It's a safety holster. That's not supposed to happen. So obviously, we've got administrative issues to look into, because if you look at the holster, as I did a few minutes ago, it is ripped in half. So he tore the gun out, jumped up, the deputy's on the ground, he's holding the deputy at gunpoint and tells him, "Back off." Well, we're grateful that he decided not to shoot us. He certainly had every opportunity to do that.
Do you know, Sheriff, how long you've had these holsters?
I have no idea. I know we've had holsters as long as we've had deputies. I just don't know how long we've had those holsters. But at the end of the day, there'll be a complete and thorough follow-up, because that holster never should have given way under these circumstances. That's why we give them a safety holster.
Sheriff, this is also very close to McKeel Academy. School was just letting out at that time. I mean, this definitely could have been, really even worse than what it was. I mean,
certainly, obviously, we had a lockdown here. This guy didn't really want to fool with the kids, but we locked down the school to protect the children in the event he ran that way. He didn't want to hurt us. He wanted to escape. But he was wearing a GPS monitor. and we saw the GPS tracked him all the way into the lake. And at the end of the day, he's in custody. Now, at the same time, there's a stolen vehicle that the Highway Patrol and we're chasing around on the boulevard just, a couple of miles away. So it was a very confusing scene. I understand they got that guy in custody too. So it was a good day. Cops 2, bad guys 0.
And that was 2 unrelated cases?
Totally unrelated.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sheriff.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you. Yep. Turn this off. Turn this off. Yep.
So we can say
The loser here is him. But ho, 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 you can eat some turkey on Christmas Day at the county jail.
Sheriff Grady Judd says the investigation into a Polk State College data breach led to a very disturbing discovery on a Winter Haven man's computer.
Deputies arrested 38-year-old Brandon Diaz for hacking charges and possession of child pornography. News Channel 8's Justin Shecker live in the Tampa News Center tonight with the details on this and this investigation from the Sheriff's Office. Justin.
In total, Jen and Keith, 38-year-old Brandon Diaz is facing 86 felony charges. Sheriff Grady Judd says he tampered with 10 accounts at Polk State College and collected dozens of disgusting child porn images on his computer.
We've got a case here that you're just not going to believe.
After losing his job at Lakeland Regional Health over a failed drug test, Sheriff Grady Judd says Polk State College terminated 38-year-old Brandon Diaz from his role in the EMS program.
He decides that 2 of the instructors over at the Center for Public Safety were responsible for him losing his job.
Sheriff Judd says Diaz decided to hack into the college's computer system in June and target those he felt were responsible for his firing.
So Brandon sent information in, so when they reset the password, the message he sent to him was, ha, 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 loser.
While serving a search warrant on his computer, Sheriff Judd says deputies discovered Diaz accessed very graphic images from the dark web.
Voila! We find child porn. Did you hear what I said? We found child porn. You can't make this up.
The father, registered nurse and former Polk County firefighter paramedic, made his first appearance before a judge.
I have reviewed 2 separate affidavits prior to coming into court.
If convicted, Diaz could spend a very long time behind bars for his computer crimes.
Here's a thought for you, Brandon. If you'd have just left everybody alone, at least for the time being, you'd be home for Christmas.
And deputies say they did not find evidence of personal identity information being stolen. This investigation continues, and Sheriff Judd says it is possible they find even more images of child porn. The judge set the bond for Diaz at $386,000. Live in the Tampa News Center, I'm Justin Shecker, 8 on your side.